this week is not a video, but I started trying acupuncture for my allergies because I read that was a thing to do.
How often is that? Like, I mean, we hear about it for back pain.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I've never actually heard about it for allergies.
Well, actually, my mom looked it up because when I was home in America over the summer, this gets into the medical weeds, but so in China they have loratadine, but they do not have loratadine D, which is the thing that I need. So when I was in America, I got a doctor's note to bring a year's worth over to China, because the reason I needed the note is because the decongestant is stuff that you make meth out of, so it's regulated both in America and in China.
Sweet meth.
But it is the thing that works for my allergies. And I was explaining to my mom, who was skeptical, not that I would make meth, but that just my claim that the Chinese don't have allergies, but she looked it up and they have allergies at a much lower rate than Europeans and Americans do. No data on Africans. But so while she was looking that up, she saw that people sometimes do acupuncture for allergies as well. And just because I've had terrible allergies for almost my whole life, I thought, give it a try. Anything could help. And I don't know if it's helping. So I saw the guy, and
So how long has that been?
So Wednesday.
Yeah, acupuncture or the loratadine medicine from home?
The medicine from home has been since I got back in August. And I mean, that's helping, and my allergies actually aren't bad at the moment, but it could always be better. And so
we're in rainy season, so.
Yeah, and I also had the idea, I've got time now, why not try it out? After I started the sessions, I did a little more reading and found it's not, allergies don't get cured ever, and acupuncture does not claim to cure it, but it does provide some relief, they say. So I think if I feel like this works and I were to do it again, I would wait till a time when I felt like my allergies were really bad, and even with medicine I was having a tough time. As for is it working, I can't say. So I went to the doctor, not a doctor, he's a technician, but he is at the medical college hospital. And I told him, I have allergies, and I heard, that's literally what I said, I have allergies, and I heard acupuncture can help. And he's like, of course it can. So he asked me.
This is what I've been waiting for. This is my whole, as a technician.
Yeah. Because that wing of the hospital is not super popular. Whereas your doctors and my asthma doctor see
the areas where people don't walk are populated by.
Yeah, they see hundreds of people an hour, and this guy sees a couple dozen people an hour. So even among the Chinese in our town at this place, it's not the most popular function.
And we're covered in vegetation and mold and everything that you would think would set that off.
But as I said, the Chinese have much lower rates of seasonal hay fever type allergies than I do. I have 100% rate. But so then he asked me some questions, and then he prescribed a course of treatment that was 5 sessions over 2 weeks. And then also he was like, what's your work schedule like? So it is very much a pragmatic, you're not going to miss work to come do this. And so I told him I could come 3 times a week, and it was Wednesday. So he's like, how about you come Wednesday, Friday this week, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday next week. So I don't know if that was a medical decision or just
He was just lonely on those days?
Yeah, I don't know. But then, that was the evaluation, and then we do the needles, and it's weird.
How many needles?
I kind of counted. It's hard because I keep my eyes closed because 2 of them are right here, so it is and I don't have a thing about needles, but it's staring up at 2 needles isn't nice. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. At least 13.
So is it kind of like the cups where you're like, there's things being put in areas, but you're not quite sure exactly?
I mean, you definitely...
You're like keep pulling and stuff in certain...
Yeah, I mean, you definitely... You feel the pinch when it goes in, and that's not so bad. What's uncomfortable for me... So he does... You don't have to use electricity, but he does use electricity. So he electrifies some of the needles, which is a thing. In the first session, the one in my shin, like, it was the way it was hitting my muscle made my, like, toe keep twitching, which that was really uncomfortable. And I think what I said to you was it felt like I was being kicked very lightly in the shin, but over and over and over. So it's not so much like that it was painful, but just like, I'd like that to stop.
Quit it.
And that's kind of how I would describe the whole feeling for me. That it's not the pressure of the pins, but something is happening. So whether you believe in chi or not, sticking a bunch of needles in you does something, and it's not just the pressure of the needles. There's like an energy.
About how long does this energy go on for?
Like half an hour. And then...
Because sometimes I get like massages here for half an hour, and it's like, all right, this is about enough.
Yeah.
And that actually feels mostly good.
Yeah.
Half an hour is a long time to have a continuous, like, okay, stop.
Yeah, and that's... I had acupuncture in the U.S. once before, but it was more like wellness acupuncture, which is... It felt great afterwards, and the procedure itself wasn't quite so uncomfortable. This is just... And that's... Like, I was doing some more reading in English, and, like, acupuncture is not supposed to hurt, although some people can have, like, different kinds of reaction. And again, I wouldn't say what's happening I would call, like, pain, but it is, like, I'm very happy when it's finished. And then I feel really peaceful afterwards, but it's also could be because to get through, like, oh, I'm feeling so uncomfortable, I, like, really concentrate on my breath and, like, meditate for half an hour while that's happening, so I could be feeling good because of the meditation or the acupuncture or both. So it's a weird situation, and it's unlike like the massage and cupping. If you don't know what cupping is, so it's acupressure, I think, and they take these like glass cups, light a what's that?
There's like a gelish,
a match?
Yeah, but there's like a gel fluid or something that's inside that's flammable that you match and it...
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought it was heating the air. But I guess, yeah, there is like a big...
Yeah.
So it like superheats the air and then they vacuum seal it to your back, and so it starts like pulling your skin
out.
Yeah, and there's like a whole Chinese medical explanation about toxins, which I don't buy, but it also then feels like a deep pressure massage, and so that feels really good. But I'm having a little trouble accepting, like, I don't believe in chi, although I can feel that something is happening energetic wise in my body. There's not like a spa comfort component to this like there is to the acupressure. So that's where I'm skeptical, maybe. Although, I mean, there's studies online in English, or articles about studies. I maybe could track down the specific studies, but the articles range from throw away your antihistamines, acupuncture really works, to, well, the studies aren't imperfectly structured, but there seems to be some evidence that acupuncture does something, but it might be placebo, down to like, it's bunk, don't try it.
Well, I mean, I think it always is. There's a little bit of something in everything, and it depends on who's selling it to you. How much they want to do. Because any like don't eat meat, don't eat eggs, eat only meat. Like there's always some kind of somebody is like do 100%
Right.
with something because it
Well,
proves that they're so awesome at something. Then like maybe if you tried a little bit of cupping and a little bit of medicine and like don't actually go out on a bad pollen day, then maybe you might feel okay,
Right.
but you're never going to be 100% or cured.
Right. Well, and there's flaws. The flaws are everywhere. But like there can be, like with these nutrition studies, nutrition science is really hard to interpret because it's hard to structure perfectly scientifically valid experiments because you ethically can't tell people what not to eat or what to eat that's healthy. And even if you could,
And also you're good.
like you ethically can't put a person on a diet that you know might be bad for them.
Right.
But even if you could ethically control what people eat, practically you're not going to get people to follow that. Nutrition science is dependent on self-reporting.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next layer is science journalism and medical reporting is iffy sometimes. And so people see these studies and misunderstand them, or like the best headline is this, but that's somewhat misleading for what the study actually tells you.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of stuff. But I think the literature
What's best for you?
on acupuncture shows there's something about it that does something. Like I think especially for pain management, Western science has found it actually works pretty well.
Outside of placebo.
Outside of placebo. Yeah, so it is like I don't have to believe in it to try it, and if it does something good, that's great, and if it doesn't do anything, then I've had an interesting experience.
Right.
Because like I was saying to you, it also like knocks me out for a little bit of the afternoon afterwards. Like
Right.
I come home and I need a nap.
It's kind of trauma.
Yeah, it's really hard. But I do want to finish out the 5 senses. No, the 5 sessions, because then I'll like have completed my experiment.
Yeah.
Because another person
Wait for the findings.
another person online says sometimes it does make you feel worse before it feels better. So if he said it's 5 sessions to finish the treatment.
Yeah. Then if you keep getting sick, stop.
Yeah. Well, and then, if I feel desperate enough, I might try it again. I think
Or
I'm
maybe a
leaning
different
towards.
person. Maybe not a lonely guy in a dark corridor.
Well, I mean, he's got his own thing going on. He smokes too, so when he's placing the needles on my face, I can he doesn't smoke in the room, but I can smell on his hands that he has cigarettes. He has been near cigarettes.
Well, yeah, with the smoking culture here, it's pretty prominent. Like most massage parlors that you're going into,
Yeah.
oftentimes are smoky, and what are you gonna do?
Yeah, people smell like smoke. But yeah, so that's a kind of experiment I'm doing these days.